Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is week 5 of 10th class, and today we are going to start our new chapter about homeostasis. So, first, we have to know what is actually homeostasis. It is defined as the maintenance of the internal conditions of body at equilibrium despite the changes in external environment. For example, the core temperature of the human body remains at 37 degrees Celsius despite of the fluctuations in surrounding air temperatures. Second example is the blood glucose level remains about 1 gram per liter despite of eating a meal rich in carbohydrates. Now the second term, that is osmoregulation. It is the maintenance of amount of water and salts in the body fluids like in blood and tissue fluids. So how a person can have to maintain the water and salts inside the body fluids, that is also needed. Thermoregulation. The maintenance of internal body temperature is called as thermoregulation. The enzymes of body work best at particular temperature, which is known as the optimum temperature, and any change in the body temperature may affect the functionings of enzyme. We have discussed this in our 9th class in chapter enzymes. So we read about the effect of temperature and enzymes. Coming to excretion. Excretion is also a process of homeostasis. In this process, the metabolic wastes are eliminated from the body to maintain the internal conditions at equilibrium. Now, how the homeostasis in plants works. First, we are going to discuss about the removal of extra carbon dioxide and oxygen. During the daytime, carbon dioxide produced in the cellular respiration is utilized in photosynthesis, so it is not a waste product. While during nighttime, carbon dioxide produced is a surplus and is removed from the plant body by diffusion. In young leaves and stems, carbon dioxide is removed through stomata, while in young roots, carbon dioxide diffuses through the germinal root surfaces, mostly by root hairs. Now coming to the oxygen. Oxygen produced during photosynthesis is utilized by cellular respiration and extra amount is removed through stomata. Now removal of extra water. Plants obtain water from the soil and it is produced in the body. It is also produced in the body during cellular respiration. Plants store large amount of water in their cells for turgidity. Extra water is removed from plant body by transpiration. At night, transpiration usually doesn't occur because most plants' stomata are closed. You can see the diagram here, the leaf which is having a small droplets on its margins or edges. This process is also the removal of extra waste like water, and this process is called as gradation. So now we are going to discuss about differences between the transpiration and gradation. Transpiration is the loss of water from plant surfaces such as stomata of leaves in the form of water vapors, which is known as transpiration, while gradation is the removal of excess amount of water from margins and tips of the leaves in the form of water droplets through special pores which are known as hydrothods. It takes place at the daytime while gradation takes place at nighttime. Water loses in the form of the water vapors while water loses in the form of water droplets. It takes place through the stomata, cuticle and lenticels, while gradation takes place through the special pore which is called as hydrothods. Example of transpiring plants are rose, sunflower plant, while gradation can be observed in grasses and tomato plant. Now, removal of metabolic waste. How the different kinds of metabolic waste are removed from different plants. Plants deposit many metabolic waste in their bodies as harmless insoluble materials. For example, in tomato plants, crystals of calcium oxalate is deposited on leaves and stems. You can see the diagram of the tomato plant which is showing you the crystals or hairs of the hair-like structures which can be seen here. They are actually the crystals of calcium oxalate which are deposited on the stems and leaves. The trees also shed leaves yearly during the leaf fall. The removal of metabolic waste can be observed in coniferous trees because they release resins as their waste materials. The kikar plants release gums. The carnivorous plants and ladyfinger releases mucilage. So these are the different metabolic waste in some particular plants. Now coming to the osmotic adjustment in plants. In our text, 3 different kinds of plants have been given. One is hydrophytes, xerophytes, and halophytes. So we are going to discuss about hydrophytes first. These plants are partially or completely submerged in fresh water. These are not facing the problems of water shortage. Adaptations. There are different adaptations for osmotic adjustment of plants. They have special mechanism for removal of extra water. They have large number of stomata on the upper epidermis of a leaf. Examples are water lily. In xerophytic plants, these plants they are present in the dry environments such as deserts. Adaptations. These plants have thick waxy cuticle on leaves and stems to reduce the rate of transpiration. They have less number of stomata. Root system is very deep for water absorption. These plants have large number of parenchyma cells for storing large amount of water to make leaves and stems succulent. Example is cactus. You can see the diagram of cactus plant. Now halophytes. What are halophytes? These are the plants which live in the sea water or the salty environments. How they survive in that environment? Adaptations are the amount of salt present in the sap of the vacuole is larger than seawater. Water enters into the vacuole with the help of active transport. Salts do not allow to move out through semi-permeable membranes of vacuole. Examples are seagrasses. You can see the diagram of that. Halophytes, which is seagrass here. Now coming to the assignment question answers, there are different terms which you have to define, like homeostasis, osmoregulation, thermoregulation, excretion, transpiration, guttation. The second question is about compare hydrophytes, xerophytes, halophytes on the basis of osmotic adjustments. Third question is, how does the homeostasis in plants takes place with the reference of carbon dioxide, oxygen, water, and metabolic wastes? You can send me your assignments on the email address which has already been shared. So I'm waiting for your assignments. I can repeat my email address, that is ajmal_farhat@yahoo.com.